Why do consumers perceive only a small fraction of the information that they receive? In actuality, consumers are extremely selective. Consider going to a supermarket. When you go there, you are exposed to thousands and thousands of brands, but you can remember only a few of them. That is because your perception is selective. An individual who's exposed to a similar stimuli may decide to look at it, or ignore it, or remember it. It all depends on his selective perception. But there are two things that can have a positive or negative influence on that perception. Number one, your past experiences, and number two, your motives at that time. For example, I haven't bought any laptop, but I have decided to buy a laptop or to look for a laptop which I'm going to buy in about 6 months time. But at that time, my motive is that I'm looking for a laptop. So even though I'm not going to a supermarket to buy a laptop, but if an advertisement appears, I'll probably notice it, and that will be registered in my mind. Selective exposure occurs when consumers tune into messages that they tend to like, or they are sympathetic of those messages, and they actively avoid those messages which are harmful to them or they do not like. This is called selective exposure. Whereas selective attention is consumers' heightened awareness of the stimuli that meet their needs. So the ads or the taglines that you find interesting, then you are more likely to notice those ads. Some people are more interested in price, physical appearances, whereas some people might be interested in rational ads or complex thinking. So they'll be interested in different kinds of ads. That is because of their selective perception. Consumers are bombarded with hundreds and thousands of ads, and consumers are psychologically uncomfortable with the bombardment of stimuli. So what they do is they want to run away from those ads, and they subconsciously avoid registering any of those promotional messages. One such example is of YouTube. The first thing that you do when as a consumer you do is skip ad when you're watching a video. Your natural tendency is to skip ad without actually registering the advertisement. So this is the perceptual defense. What is perceptual defense? Perceptual defense is when consumers subconsciously screen out the stimuli that they find psychologically threatening. Remember, psychologically threatening. If you look at these cigarette packs, at the back of every cigarette packet, there is a warning label. And consumers do not register this warning label because number one, of sensory adaptation, because they are so used to this. But the main factor is perceptual defense. They subconsciously screen out the stimuli that is threatening for them. This is why you can see that at the beginning of every movie, it is mandatory to show a warning ad for cigarettes, because this thing is not working because of perceptual defense.